Hey, it's Laura with TrueWell, and today we're going to be doing fall freestyle meal prep with really no meal plan in place at all. So it's fall, kids are back in school. We are infinitely grateful, obviously, that they're back in school, but that makes our weeks just like insanely crazy. We're worried about getting home from school, getting kids home from school. They've got homework, they got after school activities. We're supposed to be cooking dinner, but we've got like logistics for getting kids everywhere, that kind of thing. It can get pretty nutty. So this method has actually been a lifesaver for us, so that on weeks where I can't, even have the brain power to put a meal plan together, this is our lifesaver. We have a backup, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna show you the example meals that we made for the week with all of the produce that we got. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to tell you how to get the guide that shows all of the details for all of this. It's really simple, and you can just kind of keep it on hand for any time you have weeks like this. And I'm also going to let you know how to get a discount on our fall anti-inflammatory meal planning kit, which is 4 weeks of anti-inflammatory meals. So let's get to it.
So for freestyle meal prep, you can start out with simply choosing a bunch of seasonal produce. And in our shopping order for this meal prep session, I got broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, already chopped up in a bag, mushrooms, you can choose any kind, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, an onion, and then cauliflower. And all of this was just random stuff that I know my family will eat, and that gave us a pretty good variety for meals this week. So after washing all the produce, I preheat both ovens for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The tools you'll need for your meal prep session are a large cutting board, good knives, and roasting pans, probably with a lip, and something to line it with so it doesn't stick. Now I use something I found by accident, which is a barbecue grilling mat. I love these because I can cut them to perfectly fit in my pan and nothing sticks to them. They're linked below the video. So even though I didn't have full meals planned out when I got all this produce, I had a loose plan for a few things. So I knew I'd want to do baked potatoes one night. So since they take an hour to bake, you'll want to go ahead and do those first if you're going to do baked potatoes one night. And for those, basically you just coat each one individually with oil, salt it, wrap it in foil, and then punch some holes with the fork. It's super easy. You may just want to be careful for how you place them in the oven. You probably still want to put them on a pan because the oil does leak out of those holes that you punched. Once I've got those all set in the oven for 1 hour, I get to work chopping everything else. I started out with broccoli and just basically cut all the florets off. And if you don't like to chop, you can always just buy the bags where it's pre-chopped. It does save some time, but it may cost a little bit more. And then once all of these are cut up, I just put them all on the pan on one end because I'm going to put the cauliflower on the other end. Then I started with the cauliflower and removed that large base and then cut those into florets as well, breaking some of them apart. And you can also buy these pre-chopped if you don't like cutting them up. It does save a lot of time and mess. Then I placed all of those on the second half of the pan where the broccoli was. Now I cook these on the same pan because they cook at right about the same rate. And then I wanted a bit more flavor than just our base seasoning for these, so I chopped an onion into chunks and just spread it out evenly on the pan on top of the broccoli and cauliflower. So our base seasoning includes avocado oil to drizzle on. I use this to cook with because it has a high smoke point, or you can use something like this Misto spray can where you just basically put the oil in, pump the air in to build up pressure, and then spray it on. And then we season with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and it's ready to go in the oven. Next, I prepped Brussels sprouts, and the easiest way to do these is to chop off those little end pieces, slice them in half, and then lay them face down on the pan. I arranged mine with a hole in the middle for all those loose little leaves because they get extra crispy and are a super yummy snack. Then just drizzle or spray with oil, season with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and they're ready to go. Next up was mushrooms. I decided to split the mushrooms and do half chopped pretty small and then the other half roasted. I chopped one half because I like to mix them in with ground meat to give it bulk and to really boost that vitamin content. And honestly, my kids can never even tell. So I don't pre-cook those. I just put them in a baggie and store them in the fridge until the night that I need them. And then the other half, I just spread out all over the pan. They already come cut up. You can get them whole or cut up, and I got mine already sliced. And I also had a pack of sage that I grabbed at the store as well. And this is such a fragrant and nutrition-packed herb and perfect for colder weather. So I just chopped up some of it, I sprinkled it on top of the mushrooms, then I added our oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and it's ready to go. Next up was sweet potatoes. I roughly chopped these because I had loosely planned mashed sweet potatoes with cinnamon. My kids love those. And the rest I planned to use in my lunches during the week. But that meant that all of them actually needed to be chopped and roasted. Then I started on the rest of the regular potatoes that I had. So for the ones that I was not using for a whole baked potato, we like to sometimes do homemade fries, and this tool makes it super easy. It's a fry cutter and has this grid blade inside to cut the potato in perfectly squared fries. So how it works is that you take the lid off, place the potato wedge on top of that grid, and then put the lid back down and push it down to force the potato through the grid, and then you have perfectly shaped fries. So I repeated this process until I got all of the rest of the potatoes cut, then put them with the sweet potatoes on a pan because they cook at about the same rate. I got them all seasoned and ready for the oven. Then all of the veggies go into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Just keep an eye out and take out anything that's cooking a little too much. And the last thing that I prepped was kale. Since this came in a bag, I picked out any bad pieces since it was already chopped and then planned to wilt some one night for dinner, and then would have a massaged kale salad one night as well. So once all the bad pieces were picked out, I just stored it in a Ziploc in the fridge. And then when all the veggies are done roasting, just take all the pans out, let them cool, and then start putting them into your storage containers. I do recommend putting them in separate containers because some vegetables have a higher water content, and a lot of times they get a little bit mushy in there, and you don't want that water running into other vegetables. And then you've got all your veggies prepped for the week. You can store all of these and your baked potatoes in the fridge until the night you need them. And the meals that we cooked with our freestyle meal prep session were chicken sausage with the broccoli and cauliflower, baked potato with shredded chicken, sugar-free barbecue sauce, mushrooms, and Brussels sprouts, turkey burgers that had the chopped mushrooms with sage built into it and those homemade fries with Dijon mustard for dipping, and a massaged kale salad, and lemony baked cod with wilted kale and mashed sweet potatoes with cinnamon.
And there you go. That's how to do fall freestyle meal prep. If you have any questions, please comment below and let me know. If you have crazy busy weeks and need something like this, hit that like button to help the algorithm. Other people find the same thing that need this kind of help. And if you would like to get the guide to learn how to do this, check out the links below. And if you opt in to get that freebie, to get the guide, you're also going to get a discount on that fall anti-inflammatory 4-week meal planning kit. Be true, be well, and I'll see you in the next video.